Jeffrey Flanagan with MLB.com. A lot of mock drafts had you going maybe two or three. Were there any anxious moments as you kind of waited for the prospect to come around?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. I knew Kansas City was the place where I wanted to be, so it wasn't a shock to me when I got the phone call from Mr. Goldberg. But yeah, I mean, I'm extremely thankful that the Royals, gave me this opportunity. So,
what appeals to you about the Royals? They do have a lot of. I don't know if you kept track, but they have a lot of young pitching prospects too that they drafted the last couple of years.
Yeah, so I mean, just the guys from the SEC that they've gotten, including Chris Bubik from Stanford as well. Just a competitive environment that I'm going to be in. And spoke with Dayton Moore a lot, and really just saw eye to eye with him on our personal views, and it was just very easy communication. So still just very thankful and very proud.
You've got overpowering stuff, obviously, but is there any part of your game that you feel you've got to hone to be a professional?
Yeah, just continuing just to repeat my delivery as much as possible. So I'd like to probably. I'd like to say I'm a perfectionist, but our psychologist here at Texas A&M just continues to remind me just striving for excellence. So for me, that's just continuing to work on the consistency of the curveball and work the changeup in more because I didn't get to work it in a whole lot this spring.
Thanks, Asa, and welcome.
Hey, so Alec Lewis with The Athletic. I'm curious, how fun / surprising was last night? I mean, just what were the emotions like as the whole thing played out?
Oh, it was amazing. Just to hear the roar from my friends and my family all around me, it was just incredible. And a lot of these people I haven't seen for a while, just with all of the COVID stuff. So just to see everybody's face and see how happy everybody was, and just to finally hear your name called, it's such an honor. And I've certainly been waiting for this opportunity for a long time now.
Have you ever been to Kansas City?
Unfortunately, I have not.
Welcome.
I can't wait.
Hey, so it's Cody Tapp over at 610. We've talked a lot about how the minors are going to be handled for the Royals, with all the COVID stuff too. How different do you think things are going to be for you over the next couple of months versus what it might have looked like had you been drafted by the Royals and still in the middle of your college season?
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of uncertainty. It looks like a lot of stuff's going to be at a spring training facility from what I've been told so far. A lot of this process has been a lot different, a lot more Zoom calls instead of, playing baseball for the Aggies. So that's definitely been tough and a little different. And hopefully, we can get the major league season rolling and get some sort of fall league going here. So.
How hard was it to lose that last bit of your college career? I mean, all things considered, you obviously started really well.
Oh, it was really tough. I mean, it didn't quite hit me probably till a good month or two into all the quarantine stuff, just, missing my teammates. And, it was the most fun I've had playing baseball in my entire life this year. We had an incredible group of guys in the locker room. And I think we had a real shot at going to Omaha. So was looking forward to, kind of leading us there. So it was definitely tough, emotionally kind of draining.
Hey, Asa, it's Lynn Worthy from the Kansas City Star. First of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm wondering for you, my understanding is your parents were tennis players, so I wondered where this love of baseball came from for you.
It kind of just came from me not wanting to play a sport that my parents did, so I couldn't have them as coaches. I played tennis, I played golf at an early age, and I was playing baseball at the same time. I remember hitting tennis balls with my dad, and I used to hit balls over the fence like I was hitting a home run. So it was from an early on. I just had that love and that passion for baseball.
And so when did the idea that baseball might be your main sport, when did that take over? And I think did I have this right that at one point, did you guys move to an area where you could be sort of on a team that you were already on and sort of stay with that group?
Yep, that's spot on. Probably about the age of 14 is when I really thought I had a shot and I was going to, commit everything I had to this game. So we moved when I was 12 years old, partly for my dad's work. I was also playing baseball in the town we moved to, but he was working in South Texas as an oil and gas consultant. So he was doing a lot of driving back and forth to College Station. So it just made sense, and very thankful for that we did that.
What's this been like to sort of see this whole thing come full circle? I mean, you're not done, but to go top five, was that something that you had seen when you were a kid, that you had even thought of, that you had, was a goal?
Really, it wasn't a goal of mine until out of high school, and but I was still just very realistic with my talent level, and I just wasn't there. But I've always had a dream and a goal to pitch in the big leagues.
Hey, Asa, Travis Brown with the Bryan College Station Eagle. What does it mean to you to be the highest drafted Aggie of all time?
Howdy, Travis. I'd honestly say it's really cool. It's such an honor just to be taken that high into an incredible organization. And I mean, just the fact that I was thought of as that talented and that high of a prospect. So it's kind of a surreal moment.
Hey, it's Rob Collins with the Fox affiliate in Kansas City. Always good to have another native Texan around. You're on the golf course right now. What have you learned from the game of golf that translates to baseball, especially being on the mound?
I mean, definitely the whole frustration part of it. I mean, to me, making a golf swing is a lot like making a pitch. You're not going to be perfect every time. And there's just a very high level of consistency to both games. So I like to have a little more fun on the golf course. When I hit a bad shot, I kind of just laugh it off. When I'm pitching, that's definitely not the case. So.
Hey, so it's Alec again. A lot of people have talked about the slider you developed over this past year. How do you feel like that pitch has come along, and who do you credit with helping you a ton with it?
I'm really happy with how it's come along, and it's just very consistent, and I really know what my hand's doing at release, and so that has a lot to do with how I morph it into a slider or a cutter. Coach Childress has helped a little bit, but the biggest thing that I can credit would honestly be the Rapsodo and just helping me experiment with different grips from all sorts of coaches, different players, guys that I've pitched with, played against. So, but yeah, it definitely had a very strong impact on just getting the right spin and it coming out of my hand at the right angle and everything.
And I know obviously you've seen Nick right there. You guys were on Team USA together, right? What's it like joining each other with the Royals?
Oh yeah, it's super cool just to get to play with a guy. He's from Texas. Went to Baylor, and then we actually roomed together in Japan. Nick's a great guy, and I'm looking forward to getting some hitters to hit him some balls. So.
You mentioned Asa, Cody Tapp from 610 again. You mentioned that you and Dayton had similar, or you had lined up in your thought process. What did you mean by that? Do you mean as far as what type of pitcher you think you're going to be off the field?
He was very upfront, honest about the Kansas City Royals and how he likes to run things, and just his personal views on life. As a GM, as a coach, as a husband, as a father. So I can really, really appreciate that. And we just saw eye to eye on a lot of things, and he was very positive. We talked, a little bit about what's going on in today's world. I won't go into that too much, but it was just a great conversation.
Asa, Clint Scholes from Royals Academy here. I saw a quote attributed to you that you love the process of getting better and practicing. When did that mindset kick in for you, and how do you continue that drive even after success?
For me, that really kicked in at an early age, but I'd say I noticed it more probably somewhere in between my freshman and sophomore year of college. I don't know. To me, I love the grind. I love the process. I love learning, and I like seeing the results. So, that's pretty much all I got there. But all of our guys that you'll see teammates that kind of just go through the motions, and for me, I'm very purpose driven. And I think that's what's made me who I am today.
Along those same lines, you had a good sophomore season, but then you went out and you tweaked your delivery with the use of Rapsodo, and that increased your release point height. Did you get the results that you were looking for by doing that coming into this year, obviously?
Yeah, so I just wanted more extension, and I really didn't focus on the whole release height, but I noticed, just being a little smoother, going down the mound as I came out of my leg lift would help me get that extension, because I always had the explosiveness out of my back leg. It was just syncing everything up and timing it better. So got the extension up and got the spin up a little bit on the fastball, and I already had a good vertical break on my fastball, but it really just kind of popped this year. So
Everybody good?
I had one more this one, if I could.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's
I'm
Winworthy.
not holding up the whole golf course.
oh no, y'all are great. Y'all are good. It's just me right now. No rush at all.
I hate to be playing behind you right now.
Just tell them to play through. That's it's Winworthy from the Kansas City Star again. The Royal Scouting Director Lonnie Goldberg last night was talking about sort of your competitiveness and intensity on the mound. For you, is that something that is always going back to when you were a youngster, or was that something that developed as you got older? That is that a different demeanor on and off the field for you?
Yeah, so for me, I mean, when I step in between the lines, I step on that mound. I flip a switch, and it starts with my whole warm up routine. But that competitiveness is definitely something that's been in me for my entire life. It's just a matter of time before a coach brought it out of me. And I've had a few coaches that have done a pretty good job, but no one better than Coach Childress. I mean, he truly just brought that fire out in me, and let me run with it and let me just be myself.
Okay. Hi guys, this is for both of you. Both from Texas, both stayed in Texas for your education. This is kind of very generic. How excited are you to come to Kansas City? Do you even know anything about Kansas City? I'm sure you both saw the reaction to the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be awesome. I can't wait. I'm really, really looking forward to it. Just getting to meet everybody. Getting to meet the front office, getting to see Nick again. I mean, it's really going to be a very great time, happy time of my life.
Nick, I'm sorry, Asa, question about, this is usually the day that you're at Kauffman Stadium, you're holding the jersey, posing for pictures in front of the media. We get to meet you for the first time. Obviously, it's a lot different scenario with what's happening here. How are you what's your next step? I mean, how do you kind of go from here with the situation that we're dealing with the pandemic?
Yeah, I mean, I think we still have to be smart and safe, but I'm just going to continue to work out and throw and just continue my progressions. Been starting to ramp things back up with bullpens and stuff like that. And I mean, I love this game and I love the process. It's so fun for me. So, I mean, golf's been a pretty good distraction too, just to keep my mind off of things.
All right. Can we let Asa go and have a shot at Nick here? Let Asa finish his round. I think so. Asa, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it. I'm going to give you a call a little later about a couple other things, okay?
Okay, sounds great. Thank all of you for your time.
Thank you for yours. Appreciate it.
All
Nick,
right, bye-bye.
The floor is yours. Questions for Nick Lofton.
Hey, Nick, Jeffrey Flanagan, MLB.com. I asked Asa kind of the same thing, but you were kind of all over the mock draft boards too. So your night was a little bit longer, and were there a lot of anxious moments too for you before the Royals took you?
No, absolutely. Yeah. The whole draft,